Fired, it could change a life forever. Our affiliate KNXV has all the details.
Flipping through the pages can take you back in time.
Those are memories for the rest of our high school year.
But there is one snapshot that will haunt Hunter Osborne for the rest of his life.
I was actually very surprised seeing him doing that.
Hunter's number 42 on the Red Mountain High School football team.
And he is a kind of a jokester kid.
His friends just get him into things.
And that's exactly what Hunter says happened the day this picture was taken. He told investigators a teammate dared him to expose himself as a prank.
You look at the photo, it's really hard to even see.
But it still backfired. Hunter is now facing 69 misdemeanor counts of indecent exposure and 1 felony count of providing obscene material to a minor. We took our cameras to Hunter's home. No one answered the door, and while he may not want to defend his actions, neighbors and friends have his back.
Everybody has one thing or more that they do in life that they wish they hadn't done.
I don't think he deserves to have his life ruined for this one small thing.
And Hunter Osborne has been released on bond in order to wear an ankle monitor. Meanwhile, 4,500 people have signed this change.org petition to, quote, free Hunter. Mesa Public School District tells our affiliate KNXV that they're investigating how the photo got in the yearbook in the first place and will figure out how to prevent this from happening. Again, they added that all the yearbooks have been recalled. Also, they're looking into other students who may have played a role in the prank. With me now, HLN legal analyst Joey Jackson. Joey, it's good to talk to you. Before we talk about the punishment, let's talk about the crime. Explain the charges for us here.
Well, even before explaining it, I think there's a problem with prosecuting it, and that is, as a former prosecutor, I was guided by 2 principles, Yasmin. Principle number 1, technically, because something could be prosecuted, should it be prosecuted? And number 2, should you not, as a prosecutor, use your discretion to get to that word that we've talked about a lot, Yasmin, and it's called justice. And so when you're looking at what these charges are, the kid is 19, it was a prank. And so when you're talking about indecent exposure, the issue is, were you indecently exposed? It appears that he was. But then, were the people around you reasonably offended? And so were other football teammates, could they, provided they saw him, be reasonably offended? The second charge, though, with regard to distributing harmful materials to minors, what distribution did he engage in? He took a photograph, and now you can make the argument, as his attorney certainly will, that the editors or people who looked at that photograph had an obligation before putting it out in the yearbook to edit it, to redo it, or do what they did. He didn't distribute it anywhere. And so in essence, those are the charges. And, certainly you mentioned punishment. The kid's 19 years old, Yasmin. The first one, indecent exposure, is a misdemeanor. Okay, it's 6 months in jail. Should he spend any time in jail? And for the felony, it's a class 4 felony, the distributing materials to minors, 2.5 years in jail for a prank? Really? Is this what we should be prosecuting? I think prosecutors really have to look at it, make sense of it, and do what they think is just right and proper.
So in a nutshell, you think this is way too harsh. And on top of that, could he actually be placed on a national sex offender registry if this goes forward?
I don't see that occurring. That would just certainly be madness, because when you look at the law, Yasmin, intentions have to mean something. When you look at criminal law, you analyze a person's intent. What were you doing? Did you mean to do it? Were you negligent? Were you reckless? Were you careless? Were you just joking? And in this situation, he's an 18-year-old, now 19-year-old, who did something stupid because someone dared him to. And now prosecutors are going to, A, prosecute, B, deem him to be a offense against humanity and put him on a registry. It's madness. We need to simmer down and look at whether or not this is the right thing to do.
And lastly, Joey, the judge did appear to show some compassion. He did release him on bond. So, do you think the charges could be reduced at the end of the day? Or do you think maybe this is some message to send?
I think certainly there's a place to send messages in our system, absolutely. You look at the purpose of criminal justice, to deter people, to rehabilitate people, to punish people. And so, yes, I could see a likely outcome where the charges will be reduced to something minor, disorderly conduct, and some reason being brought to bear in terms of whether we really should be going after teenagers who are graduating and deeming them sexual deviants because they do stupid things. Boy, oh boy, many people have done crazy things in high school, including me.
And this was a really crazy one. All right, Joey Jackson, thanks so much for joining us. Thank you out there for joining us.